Hello, my darlings. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. Welcome if you're returning, and no, welcome if you're new here, and welcome back if you're returning. It's amazing how different my mood is today from yesterday. I was kind of down in my message yesterday, I think, but then after I clicked off and went to the bathroom to brush my teeth, I started crying. Like, I cried throughout brushing my teeth, and I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. Like, something's got to give. I'm so tired. I'm so tired, and like the prospect of going to work and acting normal and doing things properly is just sounds monumental. It sounds like a fucking enormous task. So after I brushed my teeth, I grabbed my journal and put it in my bag so I could write on the bus, write more on the bus. And I did. And I got all my angst out, and then I was like, okay, for the rest of the bus ride, I'm gonna close my eyes and listen for guidance because I've now told the universe like this, I can't do this anymore. Help! What's my next right step? I'm listening, and it gave me an answer pretty quickly. It told me to text my friend who is a real estate broker and set up a meeting with her. So I did that, and she was super compassionate and asked if I wanted a weekend day or a weekday. And so we're set up for Sunday the 19th. And I immediately felt better just knowing that I had taken a step towards my freedom. Like, I know that there are many more steps to take, and they will not all be easy, but now I feel like I've enlisted the help of an ally, and um, and I just already felt like a loosening. If you've ever tried to unscrew something that is like fused together, you've got like the bolt release spray and the impact driver. Like, I have an impact driver that you use a mallet with, not like the air compressor kind. You're like banging on it, and then like all of a sudden it like does that little turn, and you're not like, it's not totally free yet. You still got work to do to loosen it all the way, but that first turn like signals that the hardest part is over. And I got that feeling as soon as I texted her and heard back from her. Like, oops. Oh. And so that was great. And then right after our text conversation ended, my brain, or maybe it was my brain, maybe it was spirit, I don't know. I just said my brain, so maybe it was my brain. Said text so and so, another friend of mine, who I hadn't talked to in a while, and he is the friend who suggested I quit drinking. I think 3 years ago now, maybe a little longer. I don't think I quit immediately. I think, well, it was pretty quick, but um, we've gone through periods where we text a lot or we have some phone calls, and then we kind of fall out of contact for a while. Um, and so I hadn't talked to him in a while. But this message was clear, like, text him. So I did, and I was like, "Hey, how are you?" He's like, "Same shit, different day." And like, okay. And then he asked how I was, and I was just straight up honest. I was like, well, I just cried while brushing my teeth. I'm burnt out. I'm exhausted. Uh, I feel like I have no community, no support. And he was like, I feel you. He's like, hey, I'm going to an air show tomorrow. Do you want to join me? Yes, yes, I do. Even though I have tons of shit to do in my house, in my yard. Um, I could spend that time making art or working on stuff for Etsy. Like, oh my God, I need to get out of the house with another human being and do something that just lets my brain relax. And I love air shows. I grew up going to air shows, like little air shows with trick planes and military air shows with all the fighter jets. And I love them all. I love them all. I love them all. I don't like flying on passenger jets because the air feels stale and gross and it's cramped and all of that. But I won't say I dislike flying. We had a family friend when I was a kid who was a trick fighter pilot, not fighter pilot. Oh my God. Let me take a few breaths and come back to center because I'm obviously like all over the place right now. My energy is just like chaos. So let me take a few breaths and then I'll come back to my family friend, his pilot. You are more than welcome to breathe with me if you would like. Okay. So this family friend, when I was a kid, she had two biplanes. One was white and one was orange, if I remember correctly, and they both had stylized bird wings painted on their wings. And she performed in air shows, and she took me up in her planes a couple times. We did loop de loops, and she let me think that I was controlling the loop de loops, like pulling back on the controller, like brings the nose up and around. And it was like being on the most gigantic roller coaster in the sky, and it was fucking phenomenal. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing. That is like one of my favorite all-time moments in my life, and I don't think about that moment nearly often enough. I'm so glad that it came up right now. That moment is like a shining jewel in my experience. Oh, just so. Here we go, loop de loop. Love it. Anyway, so I love air shows. Is condense all that into I love air shows. They are so exciting and fun for me. So I'm really so glad that I listened to that little piece of guidance wherever it came from and texted my friend um, so that I could get invited to go to this. And then yesterday after I got home from work, he texted me and said that he'd be down for a phone call too. So after I got into my comfy clothes and had my dinner, um, let him know I was ready to talk, and then we talked for I don't know how long we talked actually. I don't know. It was at least an hour, might have been two, but it was really nice, and I was reminded again why we've been friends for so long, and it's because I think he might be like one of very few people. He might be the only person that I don't mask at all in front of. Like I just I can be 100% myself, and I'm never gonna feel like I need to change anything about myself. And it's so comfortable. um, I think the reason we fall out of contact is because we don't have a ton in common. Like he's not an artist. Um, we don't like read the same things. I don't even know if he does read actually. We do watch some of the same stuff on YouTube, like about consciousness and space and like quantum physics and stuff. Um, but I think that's about it. So, like, we run out of topics of conversation. But when it comes to like life experiences and shit we're going through, we always connect on that. And I feel so grateful to have him as a friend. Like, and he was so pivotal, as I mentioned, in suggesting I quit drinking. Like, that seriously changed my life. I guess outside looking in, you could say it changed it for the worse since I ended all my relationships. But no, no. It was like he woke me up, and I am grateful for it, even though life has been hard ever since. It was hard before, I was just numbing it, and it was hard in a different way. Um, and I was not being authentic to myself. So, yeah, I'm very grateful to have such a steadfast and honest friend. That's the other thing. Like, even though I know he won't judge me, I also know he won't hold back in what he thinks. Like, if he thinks I'm like going off the rails, he's gonna tell me, like he did when I was drinking too much. So, I think it's important to have friends like that. All right, what else? I think I covered that. I might have covered everything. Covered the crying while brushing my teeth and texting my friends. And I was going to read you my writing. I wrote on the card number 6 yesterday, and I wrote all about yesterday, but I think I just covered all of that in this. Well, not entirely. I don't think I actually wrote about work yesterday, which is interesting. I wrote about either end of work, like texting with my friends and then talking to one of my friends after work. But work just reiterated to me that I cannot go on long term there. We had our team meeting, our weekly team meeting, and my boss informed us that like mistakes are being tracked in other departments and disciplinary action will begin to be applied after so many infractions. And it hasn't been mentioned that our team will be receiving the same treatment yet, but he said it's been hinted at. And ew, like I I just don't see the point in punishing mistakes. Um, None of us are maliciously making mistakes. None of us are like being purposefully negligent or even like lazily negligent. All of us care about doing a good job. Any mistakes that happen because we're overburdened, um, and being interrupted. We get interrupted constantly, and mistakes are just going to happen. Like, we're human beings. And yeah, I just, this culture, I can't continue on with it. Um, and that goes along with the moralizing of mistakes, like like we somehow don't care enough, or I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure if I can articulate it properly, but hopefully you get what I'm saying. Um, all of us on my team care about doing a good job, and we genuinely try to do a good job. When we make mistakes, we are sorry and we turn around and fix them, of course. But like punishing us, guilt tripping us, like that, I think is going to have the exact opposite effect. At least it is on me already. Like I suddenly care less. So, yeah. And this is the sort of thing where I can tell the blast doors are getting heavier in their fixture. Like my blast doors on my work relationship are about to drop. So I really need to figure out my next steps before that happens and before I just like erupt or walk out. So on that note, let's read card 8 from the Natalie Goldberg Writing Down the Bones deck that I am falling more and more in love with each and every day. So card 8. Tell me about a favorite cafe, diner, luncheonette. Do they use that word anymore? I don't think they do, but I love it. I say we reclaim it. Or coffee shop. Where is it? What state? What town? What street? What's it near? The library? GM factory? School? Empty lot? What do they serve? What do you like about it? The chairs, windows, muffins, the music over the loudspeaker, the person behind the counter. The angles are endless. When do you go? You can see I want to hear all about it. Tell me. So that is card 8. Unfortunately, my favorite cafe, which didn't have the best food in the world or the best coffee, it did have, I think, maybe the best jukebox in the city. And it was 24 hours. And I loved the people. Well, some of the people. Um, that cafe is long gone. Now a giant corporate office building sits where it used to. But I could probably write a whole book on that cafe. So I'm not going to do it right now because I am going to join an online meditation with Unity Collective. That's Sammy Vanek's community, and there's a weekly meditation and then sharing circle. So, and that is a little less than half an hour. So I need to get off here, edit, and upload so I can join on time. So anyway, I wish you a very wonderful day. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be wealthy. May you feel at ease. And may you accept yourself exactly as you are right now, this very moment. I love you so much. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.